Finally, as an exercise in using some of the concepts introduced in this section, let's consider the following problem. Stanford people always tell the truth, and Berkeley people always lie. Unfortunately, by looking at a person, you cannot tell whether he is from Stanford or Berkeley. You come to a fork in the road and want to get to the football stadium down one fork. However, you do not know which road to take. There is a person standing there. What single question can you ask him to help you decide which fork to take? There are a number of ways to approach this problem. The most interesting involves a question in which a person is asked how he would answer if he were from Stanford or if he were from Berkeley. However, we can also approach the problem without entertaining such meta-level questions. Let's draw out a table with a set of all possible states of affairs, and leave columns for the question we want to ask and the response we want to receive. We want to ask a question that will elicit one response, let's say true or 1, if the stadium is to the left, and a different response, for example, false or 0, if the stadium is to the right. Note that the response in each case may differ from the actual truth of the question depending on whether the informant is from Stanford or from Berkeley. Now let's see what the actual truth value of a question must be to elicit this response. If the stadium is actually to the left and the informant is actually from Stanford, then we want a question that has value true. If the stadium is not to the left and the informant is from Stanford, then we want a question with truth value false. Since Stanford person is going to tell the truth, the value should be the same as the values in our response. The opposite is true for the Berkeley cases. If the stadium is to the left and the informant is from Berkeley, we want a question that has truth value false, since the informant will lie. If the stadium is not to the left and the informant is from Berkeley, then we want a question that has truth value true. Now, looking at our operator semantics tables, we see that this is exactly the set of truth values assigned to the sentence left if and only if SU, Stanford. So we can phrase this as a question as follows. Is it the case that the left road is the way to the stadium if and only if you are from Stanford? Okay, that's not a particularly clever or simple question, but it will elicit the right response. Importantly, the example illustrates that it's possible to solve problems of this sort using just the concepts we have seen so far.